So, my guy here, we are continuing our discussion, our debate, but it is purely that of respectful debate. I don't think that this verse means what you think it means, as far as the conversation we're having about man being put in place to rule the earth, to subdue it, and uh, science backing that up. Because this verse doesn't mean what you wrote in here. You said Ecclesiastes 3:11 to discover the work of God. We apply how and why to discover how we got here. Life's biggest question. This verse doesn't talk about anything about how we got here. If you look at it, and especially looking around it, of course, it just got finished talking about there's a time for peace, a time for war, a time to weep, a time to laugh, that sort of thing. It says, what do workers do? What do workers gain from their toil? I have seen the burden of God. I have seen the burden God has laid on the human race. He has, this is 11. He has made everything beautiful in its time. He has also sent eternity. He has also set eternity in the human heart. Yet no one can fathom what God has done from the beginning to end. I know that there is nothing better for people than to be happy and to do good while they live, that each of them may eat, drink, find satisfaction in their toil. This is a gift of God. I know that everything God does will endure forever. Nothing can be added to it or nothing can be taken from it. God does it so that people will fear him. That is nowhere in that entire paragraph does it describe us figuring out how God did things. If anything, it's more like the Kabbalion, more like the Hermetic teachings, the Atlantean teachings of the all is unknowable and the all is unfathomable. That we can never be able to fully understand nor describe the all. No matter how much knowledge we obtain, no matter how much science we obtain, how much wisdom we attain, we can never fully understand, comprehend the all and the workings of the all. It says that the Hermetic teachings is also that the all cannot be taken away from nor added to, which is valid. The all cannot be. This will be in agreement of that. But when you invoke your Jesus character, what you have now done is separated the all, taken away from the all. When Yeshua supposedly was on the cross and yelled out in one version, because another version he says something else, why have thou forsaken me? Forsaken meaning left me. You have deserted me. If Jesus was God, Jesus can never not be God. So God can never forsake him. He would still be God. If he took on your sin and God cannot take on sin, God cannot have that, and he was a sacrificial lamb, he had to separate from God for that time frame. At no time can God not be himself. And then if Jesus did separate and then came back, God cannot be added to. That's what this says. That's what your book says. That's also what the Hermetic says, the Kabbalion says, the Emerald Tablet says, that God cannot be separated from nor added to. If something can be added to, then it is not the all. If it can be taken away from, it is not the all. But the most interesting aspect here to me is the fact that at the end it says God does it so that people will fear him. Fear him. This is a deity that knows that the easiest way to get people to fall in line is not through love, it is not through care, it is not through prosperity, it is through fear. And that fear is what governments use, what preachers use, what all these entities use to keep people in line. The fear of hell keeps more people in line with religion than the love of heaven. Really think about that. If you really, really think about it, most people, if they were truly honest with themselves, would admit that the fear of hell, the fear of punishment, keeps them more in line with this book. And they may say love of God, love of God, love of God. This is what they say, but they know it's that fear deep inside them than the actual love. Than the actual love. Children initially obey their parents for the most part out of fear first before they obey them out of love. They don't want the punishment, wherever that punishment may be. Whether it's, for me, one of my all-time favorite was to squat or get in a push-up position, or for my daughter Simone, for me to raise my voice at her. She feared that so much. She hated that so much that she was the most obedient child. All of them were amazing children, but she was the most one that stayed out of the most trouble. Why? Because she didn't want me to be disappointed in her. Fear. But this God's fear, this God's punishment, is burning in hell or oblivion, depending upon which direction you go. This God uses fear as a weapon, and y'all call it love. It's not love. But it is saying that you are to just work and be happy in your work. He is saying that you are to find satisfaction, that you may eat and drink and find satisfaction in your toil, that this is the gift of God. This God is not saying that you are to be on a search to figure out how we got here, the workings of God, because he's telling you in your own book that no one can fathom what God has done from beginning to end. So this doesn't correlate well with your statement, but I'm enjoying the debate. Remember, you got to free yourself to be yourself because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibration.